dance your way through Japanese lore-inspired tower defense levels in a fun mix of action combat and strategic tower placement. Welcome everyone, StealthyShiroean here, and today I'm taking a first look at Kunitsu Gami Path of the Gods. Capcom developed and published Kunitsu Gami, releasing it in July 2024, which, if you're watching this today, then it will be in the next day or so. I was a bit surprised that I didn't see more about this game despite it coming from a AAA company, and I honestly feel it was a missed marketing opportunity. After playing the demo, I really enjoyed my time with it and their interesting spin on the tower defense genre. The game's presentation is immediately attractive with its Japanese lore-inspired visuals. I like the masks and designs for the various villager roles, such as the shaman and woodcutter. The monster designs were grotesque and varied even for the demo. I think I came across at least half a dozen enemies. For me, what really sells it is the animations. The game is inspired by Kagura, which is a form of Shinto ritual dancing. The priestess whom you have to protect performs this dance to cleanse the land, but you could also see it in the villagers. Even the players' animations are very fluid and dance-like when slashing your sword. And of course, a game with such a heavy dance emphasis is going to have a great soundtrack. I like the songs I heard, although I'm always a sucker for traditional Japanese instruments. Supposedly, the Steam page suggests there's voice acting, and I did choose Japanese as my voice language preference, yet the demo didn't really have any bit of voice story. A trailer shows the priestess talking, and there was one time she said "Tasukete" or "help," but that's it. I'm wondering if Capcom was holding back, or if the game just doesn't have much in the way of voice dialogue. That actually segues nicely into discussing the story. In Kunitsu Gami, the player takes the role of So, a warrior tasked with defending Yoshiro, a priestess who is cleansing the blighted land. Outside of that, not much was revealed in the demo. Actually, I didn't feel the game needed much more than that. It would be nice if there was something more to chew on, but I wasn't too bothered by the lack of overt storytelling. The gameplay is split into stages where the player must gather resources, set up defenses, and cleanse the land. This is done by escorting the priestess to the other side of the map and letting her do her ritual on the corrupted torii gates that are spawning seed. The gameplay is split up into daytime, where the player can explore the map, gather resources, and set up a defense. Then in the nighttime, monsters come to try and halt your advance and kill the priestess. The game gives you full control of your character and uses an action combat system where you can perform basic combos, dodge, and block against the monstrous baddies. It's fun and gets the job done. I wouldn't say it was anything on the likes of a game dedicated to this style of combat, but it felt good. You also have villagers who you could rescue from the corruption and then assign them various roles. In the demo, I came across 4 different types, which were the woodcutter, the archer, the ascetic, and the shaman. Each had their own attributes suited to different situations, such as woodcutters being the frontline melee fighters, whereas ascetics could create an aurora that slowed down enemies. Throughout a level, the player can reassign these roles as needed and also reposition the villagers so they're in better suited locations. And this brings us to what I feel is the most unique point to the gameplay. Yes, the combat is fun and a nice addition to the tower defense formula, but it's something we've seen before in games like Dungeon Defenders or Orcs Must Die. What is really clever in Kunitsu Gami is the priestess herself. If she dies, then it's game over. However, she actively moves down the lane towards the corrupted torii gate. So the thing that you need to protect is also getting closer to the things that are trying to kill it. This is furthered by the fact that the player could decide how far they want Yoshiro to go. Players can spend their currency to extend her down the path and she'll start dancing her way over. So it's up to the player to decide if they should push ahead in the hopes to cleanse the gate after the next nighttime fight, or maybe it'd be more prudent to hang back at a spot that is easily defensible because of elevated cliffs or maybe a constructible barricade. In the last mission of the demo, it introduced the idea that the priestess could move down a branching path, furthering the choice of, should I take the shorter but possibly more open route to attacks, or the longer but safer option. It's a brilliant gameplay mechanic, and I'm eager to see how it's developed in the full game. As mentioned though, during the day, the player explores around the map. They could find breakable objects to collect currency, as well as purge the corruption to gain new fighters or unlock shrines. From these shrines, and also the completion of mission and extra objectives, the player can gain new equipable items. These can be in the form of special abilities or buffs for the villagers. Completing missions and objectives also gain you musubi, which is a currency used to upgrade your different villager roles. These things are important because each mission also has several bonus objectives that you could do. Many of them probably won't be completed on the first attempt, and having specific equipment or upgraded villagers can help you meet those requirements. In the one boss mission, there was an objective to beat him in less than a minute. After some upgrades to my woodcutters, and being a bit better at the combat, I was able to do this easily. Before I jump into my final thoughts, please consider giving this video a like if you enjoyed it, as that helps me out greatly with the YouTube algorithm gods. Overall, I put about 3 hours into this demo, and I think the demo did a really good job to show whether or not this is something a player would be interested in. I liked it a lot. I haven't played a tower defense game in such a long time, but I think this one really has something unique going for it. The setting alone was enough to draw me in, but the mechanics will be something that I think would keep me for the long haul. Although I could see the management of the villagers getting a bit unwieldy with many of them under the player's control. The most I had was 7 at one point, and I did think that was sometimes difficult to determine who I was selecting to move. Luckily, the game fully pauses when repositioning, so you don't need to worry about being in a frantic scramble as monsters are pouring onto the screen. And for any who played the demo, then let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If not, then let me know if it looks like something you'd be interested in, or if you have any other questions. I hope this video helped you in some small way, and if it did, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, or whatever it is you feel like doing. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.